Assalamu alaikum. Today we are going to start with exercise 4.2s of IGCSE Extended Mathematics that is recommended by AQA examinations. Our topic is averages and spread 1. So before moving to the questions, we will briefly discuss the basic things about the average and range. So first of all, we will discuss about average. What is average? Average is basically a single value that represents the center or typical value of set of data. Or in other words, we can say that average is the central tendency of the data. There are several ways to find average, like mean, mod, and median. By the way, mean is usually applied to the data where the data is consecutive, like where the values are close to each other and there will be no outliers. So we can apply mean to find the average. Here is an example. We can see that we first need to add the data values and we divide by the total number of values to get the mean. Mod is basically applied to the frequent data, like where the data values are being repeated. And similarly, here is an example, like how do we find the mod? The most frequent value will be the mod of the data, or we can say the average of the data. And also there can be multiple mods. Like for example, here 4 is being repeated by 3 times. So this is mod, but in that case, if we have like 2 is also being repeated by 3 times, let's suppose, then there will be 2 mods, like 2 and 4. While if we talk about median, median is basically the middle value of the data. Like first of all, we need to know that what type of data is required for the median. The median is applied to the non-consecutive data, like where there is a large spread, or we can say there will be outliers in the data where we will apply median. And how do we actually find median? To find the median, we first need to arrange the data in order, like in ascending order, and then we will find the median. Like here, if you see that, by the way, here you can see that there are odd number of values, like there are total 5 values over there. So it's very easy to figure out the middle value, because if you leave 2 values from the left and 2 values from the right, you can see the middle value is 15. So median is 15. But what about the case where we will be having even number of values? For example, if I add 200 over there, like this is the another data value. So now there are total 6 values which are even in numbers. So how do we find the median in that case? So in this case, we will get 2 middle values. For example, if you leave 2 values from the left and 2 values from the right, we will have 2 middle numbers. So in that case, we will find the mean of the 2 middle values to get the median. Like for median, we will add these 2 numbers, 2 middle values, and we will divide by 2 to get the median. So further, you can solve it, like it will be 55 divided by 2 is definitely 27.5. Now let's talk about range. Range is basically the difference of the highest and the lowest value in the data set. You can see the formula over there. And what actually range tell us? What does range tell us? Range describes the consistency or variability of the data. If there will be small range, then the data will be more consistent, as you can see over there. And if there is a large range, then the data will be considered as less consistent. There will be a large spread over there. Now let's proceed to next slide. In this slide, you can again see about range, but we have one more concept, that is interquartile range, IQR. Interquartile range is similar to the range, but here we find the range or the difference of the middle values of the lower half and the upper half. Like here you can see Q3 is the middle value of the upper half and Q1 is the middle value of the lower half. So how do we find the Q3 and Q1? So basically for the position of Q3 and Q1, we use these 2 formulas. For the position of Q1, we actually take 1/4 of n plus 1. Here n represents the total number of values. So please remember that these 2 formulas not gives us Q3 or Q1. They tell us the position of the Q3 and Q1. So at that position, the value will be the Q1 or Q3. So IQR also is independent of the outliers, because there will be no effect of the outliers to the IQR, and smaller IQR means the data is more similar, and larger IQR means that the data is more spread out. Now let's proceed to questions. In question number 1, it says calculate the mean of each set of numbers. So in A part, it's very easy to find the mean. For the mean, we add the numbers and we divide by the total numbers. So 4 plus 9 plus 7 plus 12. So there are total 4 values over there. So we'll divide by 4. So if we add all the numbers, we get 32. And if we divide by 4, we get 8. So 8 is the middle value or the central value of this data. So similarly, you can do the remaining problems by using the same method. I'm moving towards the next question. In question number 2, part A, they want us to find the median of each set of numbers. So in first part, for the median, first we will arrange the data. So if I arrange the data of part 1 in ascending order, I will get 3, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, and 8. Now we can cut some values from the start and from the end. So if we get 3 and 8, and then 3 and 8, and then 4 and 7, I get the median 5. So the median will be equals to 5. Similarly, you can do the remaining parts. First, you need to arrange the data in ascending order, and then you can find the median. All the data values are odd, so there will be one middle value. And in B part, it says which data sets contain outliers. Have the outliers affected the median? So basically, you need to solve the remaining values. By the way, in the first data, there is no outlier. But in the second data, there is an outlier, 26, because this value is larger as compared to remaining numbers. So that's why 26 is the outlier. And also, median has no effect due to outlier. So we will say that in set 2, there is an outlier and it has no effect on the median. Why? Because the median is the middle value and outliers exist at the end. That's why outliers will not have any effect on the median. Now let's proceed to next question. In question number 3, they want us to calculate the mod and range of each data set. So in A part, mod is basically the most frequent value in the data set. So in the first part, in A part, the mod is definitely 1 because 1 is being repeated by 4 times. So 1 is the mod, and range is basically the difference of the maximum and minimum value. So the maximum value is 4 and minimum value is -6. So if you subtract -6 from 4, you get like 4 plus 6, and then you get 10 over there. So the range is 10. So similarly, you can do the remaining parts. Let me read this statement. It says, which data sets contain outlier? Have the outliers affected the mod or range? So by the way, in A part, there is an outlier, which is -6. So if we talk about mod, so outlier does not affect mod. If we specifically about mod, so outlier does not affect mod. While if we talk about range, so the outlier always increases the range. For example, if we don't include -6 in data set A, there will be a range 4 take away 0, means without -6, range will be equals to 4 take away 0, that will be equals to 4. So you can see that without outlier, the range is very small. So outlier always increases the range. It means outliers affect the range while outlier does not affect the mod or median, as we discussed in the previous question. Now let's proceed to next question. In question number 4, it says the number of flowers on 8 rose plants is shown in frequency table. Like if we read the table, we can see that number of flowers are given and frequency means the frequency of plants is also given. Like if we want to describe it, then this table means that there are 4 plants on which there are 3 flowers. There are 2 plants on which there are 4 flowers, and there are 2 plants again on which each plant contains 5 flowers. So A part says list the 8 numbers in order of the size. Smallest first means in ascending order. Calculate the mean, mod, median, and range of the 8 numbers. So let's arrange the numbers. We will do this part here. First of all, we have 3 that is being repeated by 4 times. Then we have 4. Its frequency is 2. There are 2 plants on which each plant contains 4 flowers. And then the frequency of 5 is also 2. Now to find mean, we know that we need to add all the data values. So it's 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 5. And there are total 8 values, so we don't need to divide it by 8. And if we add the numbers, we get 30 over there. And if we divide by 8, we get the mean as 3.75. Now we can find the mod. Mod is basically the most frequent number, that is 3. So mod is 3. We can also find the median. For the median, we need to cut some values from the beginning and from the end. So 3 and 5, then 3 and 5, then 3 and 4. And there are 2 middle values. So in case of 2 middle values, we find the mean of 2 middle values. So the median will be equals to 3 plus 4 divided by 2. That will be equals to 7 divided by 2 means 3.5. And also we have to mention the range, and range is basically the difference of the maximum and minimum value, that is 5 minus 3, which is equals to 2. Now we will do its B part. In B part, they want us to use the table to calculate the mean, mod, and median. So let's use the table. To use the table, we find the total values, and also we mention the total frequency, that is 8, and also we do the grand total. So if there are 4 plants on which each plant contains 3 flowers, so in total there will be 12 flowers. So we are actually doing the grand total of the flowers. Similarly, there are 2 plants on which each plant contains 4 flowers, so in total there are 8 flowers. Similarly, in total there are 10 flowers. So if we do a grand total over there, so 12 plus 8 plus 10 means total there are 30 flowers. And in total there were 8 plants. So on 8 plants there are total 30 flowers. Now we will use this data to find mean, mod, and median. So again, mean is the sum of all the values, means sum of flowers divided by the total number of plants, means the frequency. In other words, we can say that we are dividing the total flowers by the frequency of the plants, means 30 divided by 8, that will be equals to 3.75. Here we are actually doing the B part. Now to find the mod, mod is again the most frequent number, so we can again mention the mod as 3 because 3 is the most frequent data. Its frequency is the highest. And for median, we want to check the position of the middle value. So first of all, we need to understand that in case of even frequency, there will be 2 middle values. And for the position of middle values, we will first mention the median here. And for the position of middle values, for the position of means middle value, we divide frequency by 2, means 8 divided by 2 is 4. So the first middle value exists at 4th position, and the second middle value will be the next value after 4th position, means the 5th position will be the position of second middle value. So again, I will repeat that in case of even frequency, there will be 2 middle values, and we find the position of middle values by first dividing the frequency by 2, and we get the first position of the middle value, that is 4th position, and the next position will be the next consecutive number, means the next position will be 5th one. So now we will use the tally marks to tell the number at 4th position and 5th position. So if you see that there are So to check the number at the fourth position, we will start counting from the beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So at fourth position, 3 exists. So the first middle value, by the way, in case of two middle values, we find the mean of middle values. So the first middle value is 3, and the second middle value will be the fifth one, means at fifth position, and at fifth position, 4 exists. So the next number is 4, the next middle value is 4. So if we divide by 2, we find the median, we get 3.5. So you can easily compare the answers of part A and part B. Both are similar. Now let's proceed to next question. In question number 5, it says the number of days that 25 students were present at school in a week are shown in the frequency table. And we can also understand the table first, that how many students were there in different number of days means it says the frequency is 4, means if you see the second data value, it says frequency is 4, means there were 4 students on a single day. Similarly, there were 6 students present for 2 days, and 2 students were present in 3 days, and 5 students were present for 4 days, and 8 students were present for 5 days. In A part, they want us to list all the numbers in order, and we need to calculate the mean, mode, and median, and range. As we have done similar part in question number 4, so I'm leaving this A part for you, but I will do the B part only here. So we will use the table. We need to find the total over there, and also we will find the total of frequency, and we will also do the grand total over there. So if you times 0 with 0, we get 0. 4 times 1 is 4. 6 times 2 is 12. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 4 is 20. And 8 times 5 is 40. So in total, if we add, we get 82 over there, and frequency is 25. So for mean, if we divide the grand total, means the sum of total students, by the frequency, we get 82 divided by 25, that is 3.28. For mod, we will see the most frequent data value, which is 5. The highest frequency is 8, so 5 is the mod. To calculate the median, we will first observe the frequency. As we discussed in the previous question, that there are 2 middle values for the even frequency, but there will be only 1 middle value for the odd frequency. Here the frequency is 25, which is odd, so there will be single middle value. So for the position of the middle value, we will add 1 in the frequency and divide by 2. And this is only applied to the odd frequency. Here the frequency is odd. So for the odd frequency, we add 1 in the frequency and divide by 2. So if we add 1 in 25, we get 26. And if we divide by 2, we get 13 over there. It means at 13th position, the middle value exists. So if you see there are 4 numbers over there, then there are 6 more. So we get completed 10 numbers at this position. And then there are 2 more numbers added over there. So 12 numbers are completed till this position. And 13th position, at 13th position, definitely 4 is existing. So the median will be equals to 4, because in first 4 positions, 1 exists, and in next 6 positions, 2 exist, then in next 2 positions, 3 exist, and then at next position, 4 exists. So at this position means the positions after 13th, after 12th value, 4 is being existed. Now we will proceed to next question. In question number 6, they want us to calculate the range, mod, mean, median, and interquartile range. So I will do only A part here. First of all, if we find the range is the difference of the maximum and minimum value. So if you see that the maximum value is 9 here and minimum value is 2. So 9 take away 2 is 7. Similarly, the mod is the most frequent data value. So here 6 is being repeated for the most of the time. So mod is 6. Then for mean, we add all the numbers and we divide by the total numbers. Like 5 plus 9 plus 7 plus 8 plus 2 plus 3 plus 6 plus 6 plus 7 plus 6 and plus 5. So if you add all the numbers and divide it by the total numbers that are 11, we get 64. And if we divide by 11, we further get 5.818. And here it is being repeated, so we can round off to 5.82. Now for median, we first need to arrange the values. So we will arrange it like 2, 3, then 5, 5 again, then 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, and then 9. We need to count again because we will make sure that there are total 11 values. So yes, these are 11 values. Now we will cut the values from the beginning and from the end to 2 and 9, then 3 and 8, then 5 and 7, then 5 and 7, then 6 and 6. So at middle, 6 is being existent. So the middle number is 6, means median is equals to 6. Now we will find interquartile range, IQR. So for IQR, we will apply this formula, that is Q3 minus Q1. And for the position of Q3, we will use this formula. For Q3, we will take the product of 3/4 and n plus 1 for the position of the Q3. That will be equals to 3 plus 4, 3, that will be equals to 3/4 into 11 plus 1, which is 12. So if we calculate it, we get 3/4 times 12, which is equals to 9. So it means 9th value is the value of Q3. So at 9th position, 7 is being existed. So Q3 is 7. Now we will work out for Q1. For Q1, we will apply this formula, that is, now we will work out for Q1. So for Q1, we will use this formula, that is 1/4 of n plus 1, means this will be the position of Q1. So if we again substitute n as 11, we get 12, and 11 plus 1 is 12, and 1/4 of 12 is 3, means third value is the position of Q1. So at third position, 5 is being existed. So Q1 is 5. So the IQR will be 7 take away 5, which is 2. So this is how you can find IQR. First, you need to find the position of Q3 and position of Q1, and then you just need to take the difference. So similarly, you can do the remaining parts. I'm leaving these parts for you. You can easily do this. Now we'll proceed to next question. In question number 7, they again want us to work out range, mod, mean, median, and interquartile range. But first, we need to subtract 100 from each of the number in question number 6, part G. So I have mentioned part G over there. We just need to subtract 100 from each number, and we will get another data set, and we will work out these things. And then we can also compare with other parts. So the new data set will be equals to 101 take away 100 will be equals to 1. Then there will be 6, then 8, then 2, then 8 again, then 5, 6, 9, 3, 5, 7, 4, 4, 5, and 5. So you can easily find these things like range, mod, mean, median, and interquartile range. And at the end, you will notice that two things will stay same, means range and IQR, means interquartile range. Means subtracting 100 will not affect the range and interquartile range, but other things will definitely change. So thank you. This was all for today. You can ask questions through comments. Thank you.